Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're pulling back the curtain on an area of real estate that often operates quietly behind the scenes,
Hmm.
yet it's absolutely fundamental to how our modern world functions. Industrial real estate,
Mm.
specifically logistic hubs.
That's right, the engine room, really.
Exactly. And we've got a stack of sources that reveal why these, seemingly utilitarian properties are suddenly red hot for high volume investors.
Yeah, it's fascinating.
It uncovers surprising connections to global trade, advanced technology, and even, believe it or not, new forms of currency. Think of this as your essential shortcut to understanding the hidden mechanics of our global supply chains.
And what's truly fascinating, I think, is how these spaces, which maybe were once just seen as big boxes, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're now at the nexus of major global shifts. We're
Wow.
not just looking at what they are, but really why their evolution matters more than ever. It impacts everyone from international manufacturers all the way to, well, to you, the consumer, waiting for that package at home.
Okay, so let's start with the big picture then. What has suddenly propelled logistic hubs into the spotlight? Why are they such a prime target now for major property investors? What's the core driver here?
Well, as Dr. Pooyan Ghamari, he's a Swiss economist and founder of the ALandPlatform, highlights, it fundamentally boils down to their critical role in global supply chains.
Okay.
And that role's been amplified massively by the acceleration of e-commerce.
Right, the online shopping boom.
Exactly. So the surge in demand for these strategically located logistic properties, it isn't just a fleeting trend. It reflects really profound shifts in global trade patterns, rapid technological innovation, and, evolving consumer behavior that we've all experienced firsthand.
So it's kind of like these unassuming buildings are actually the linchpin of our online shopping habits. We rarely think beyond the delivery truck itself.
They absolutely are, yeah.
How do they truly act as that crucial connection point?
Well, think of logistic hubs as these pivotal nodes.
Yeah.
They connect manufacturers, distributors, and retailers in this complex global web, and their proximity to key transport infrastructure. Think major ports, bustling highways, railway networks, airports that directly translates into operational efficiency.
Mm-hmm.
And, crucially, significant cost optimization for businesses.
So it's still location, 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 but maybe with a critical twist. It's about transport connectivity now.
That's the key twist, yeah.
Okay, so what does that mean for investors? How does that translate into, say, long-term value?
Well, for investors, this connectivity is basically gold. It means these hubs offer exceptional long-term lease stability
Ah, okay. Stability.
and remarkable resilience, even during economic downturns. And look, this isn't just theoretical. It's backed by incredibly strong and sustained tenant demand
All right.
from a really diverse array of logistics and e-commerce companies that simply must have these strategic positions. They need to be there.
That makes perfect sense. But it sounds like these aren't just empty warehouses anymore, right? Our sources hint they're becoming smart spaces.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
What does that mean exactly? How is technology transforming these properties beyond just being a place to store stuff?
You've really hit on a crucial point there. The drive for efficiency,
Yeah.
right? From developments like just-in-time delivery models,
Where things arrive just when you need them.
precisely, to minimize expensive storage,
Right.
and things like omni-channel retail strategies, you know, integrating online, in-store, mobile experiences seamlessly.
Mm-hmm.
That has totally reshaped what a modern warehouse needs to be. We're talking about facilities equipped with advanced automation, robotics, specialized cold storage capabilities for, say, groceries or pharmaceuticals,
Oh, right.
and deeply integrated sustainability features too. These enhancements, they dramatically increase an asset's value, and they improve tenant retention, which investors love.
Natural.
So it creates these incredibly lucrative opportunities for institutional investors who are looking to build, scalable industrial portfolios, not just one-offs.
Got it. So beyond the walls of these increasingly intelligent buildings, what broader macroeconomic forces are shaping this investment trend? Is it just global shifts, or is there something more localized happening too?
It's both, actually. Macroeconomic trends like globalization are certainly a factor, but also things like reshoring.
Bringing production back home or closer to home?
Exactly. And a strategic focus now on supply chain diversification, making them less vulnerable. These trends are fundamentally elevating the strategic value of logistic hubs.
Okay.
And Dr. Ghamari also points out something important. International investment flows tend to gravitate towards regions that offer stable governance, transparent property rights, and interestingly, favorable immigration policies.
Huh. So the underlying conditions matter just as much.
Absolutely. They're just as important as the physical location itself sometimes.
And the ongoing digital economy transformation that plays a part too, right? Not just in driving e-commerce, but maybe in how these properties are found and managed.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The digital transformation specifically fuels demand for what they call last-mile distribution centers.
The ones close to us?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Those smaller, strategically located facilities right on the edge of urban areas, designed to get products directly to your door fast.
Right.
Which raises an important question for investors.
Mm.
How do you even spot these emerging hotspots before everyone else does?
Yeah, how do you find them?
Well, the sources indicate that tools leveraging AI-powered analytics can now crunch just vast amounts of data.
Like what kind of data?
Oh, everything from traffic patterns, demographic shifts, consumer spending habits, zoning regulations, you name it,
Wow.
to precisely identify these prime areas and even forecast potential rental yield growth.
Yeah.
This allows investors to align their acquisition strategies with predictive market shifts rather than just, reacting after the fact.
Okay, that's fascinating. Now, amidst all this talk of logistics, tech, economics, our sources introduce something that feels a bit unexpected. The importance of branding and cause-related marketing in industrial real estate. Why are these maybe softer factors becoming critical in what's traditionally seen as a hard asset class?
It's a really significant factor now, more than you might think. Incorporating cause-related marketing strategies and sustainable development practices within industrial real estate, it dramatically enhances brand reputation,
Okay.
and it boosts investor confidence. Dr. Ghamari emphasizes that features like, say, energy-efficient warehouses, putting solar panels on the roof, renewable energy integration, and having robust community engagement initiatives. These aren't just nice-to-haves anymore.
They're expected.
Increasingly, yes. They reinforce a company's social responsibility credentials, which is really important to tenants, especially big corporate tenants, and to investors alike.
So being green isn't just good for the planet anymore. It's actually proving to be good for the bottom line, too.
That's what the evidence shows.
How exactly do these sustainable practices translate into, tangible ROI for the investors?
Well, research-backed evidence clearly shows that industrial firms with robust ESG, that's environmental, social, and governance practices, they achieve stronger tenant loyalty. Tenants want to be in these buildings.
Okay, lower turnover.
Exactly. And they're far more attractive to impact-focused capital, which is a rapidly growing segment of the investment market. People want to invest in responsible companies.
Right.
And get this, digital marketing solutions can even help companies quantify and communicate improvements in their brand sentiment. They can measure the actual return on investment from these sustainability initiatives. It becomes a virtuous cycle.
That's a powerful incentive indeed. Now, let's shift gears slightly to something really on the cutting edge of investment.
Okay.
Our sources mention cryptocurrency as a funding mechanism here. How on earth does that work in traditionally, let's say, conservative real estate, and what makes it a potential game changer?
Yeah, this is a truly fascinating development. Gold, which is a gold-backed cryptocurrency, is introducing some really innovative mechanisms for funding industrial real estate acquisitions, especially across international borders.
Across borders, okay. Why is that significant?
Well, what's truly insightful about something like Gold isn't just that it's, a new form of digital money. It's how it bypasses the traditional, often slow, cumbersome, and volatile foreign exchange markets.
Avoiding the currency fluctuations and bank delays.
Precisely. Imagine completing a multi-million-dollar cross-border warehouse acquisition in, say, days instead of weeks or months.
Wow.
And without the hidden costs or the currency risk inherent in traditional banking, that's the potential game changer here. Dr. Ghamari underscores how it mitigates that traditional currency volatility and really streamlines complex transactions. It allows high-volume investors to secure assets quickly, efficiently, and transparently.
That really does sound like a fundamental shift for international deals. And I think you mentioned it goes even further with something called tokenization of properties. Can you unpack that for us?
It does go further, and what's potentially even more groundbreaking, maybe longer term, is this tokenization of industrial properties.
Okay, what is that?
Essentially, it means converting the ownership rights of a physical property into digital tokens on a blockchain.
So like digital shares of a building.
Kinda, yeah. Think of it like buying shares in a company, but you're buying a tiny verifiable piece of a physical warehouse. This fractional ownership could unlock huge liquidity, making it much easier to trade shares of a property compared to selling a whole building.
Right, much faster, less friction.
Exactly. And it significantly broadens the pool of potential investors beyond just the big institutional players. Anyone could potentially buy a token.
Interesting.
This digital innovation aligns with evolving global investment norms, and it provides entirely new avenues for capital deployment into these crucial logistic hubs.
Okay, so let's bring this all together. What does this all mean for you listening right now? Whether you're an experienced investor or maybe just someone trying to understand what truly drives our modern economy, what are the practical takeaways from this deep dive?
Yeah, good question. I think we could distill several key points that are really vital to grasp.
Okay.
First, uh, target logistic hubs with strategic transport access. Always prioritize assets near those key nodes, ports, major highways, airports. That ensures sustained tenant demand and operational efficiency.
Got it. Location plus connectivity.
Second, leverage predictive analytics. Don't just guess. Utilize advanced AI tools to anticipate market shifts, to optimize your portfolio allocation. Move with the market or even ahead of it rather than just reacting.
Be proactive, not reactive.
Exactly. Third, integrate strong ESG practices. It's not optional anymore. Developing and promoting sustainability projects doesn't just enhance brand value, it actively attracts premium tenants and that growing pool of impact-focused capital.
Good business, good for the planet.
Fourth, adopt sophisticated digital marketing strategies, especially using cause-related campaigns. Use them to build reputation and investor trust in what's becoming a very competitive landscape.
Stand out from the crowd.
And finally, number 5, explore cryptocurrency and tokenization. At least understand how things like gold-backed crypto, like e-gold, and these digital platforms could facilitate secure, efficient cross-border investment and potentially, fundamentally, increase liquidity for these large assets down the road.
Keep an eye on the future of finance there.
Definitely.
Wow, this deep dive has truly revealed how industrial real estate, far from being just, boring concrete boxes, is actually this dynamic and absolutely essential part of our modern world.
It really is.
It's being driven by massive global shifts, relentless technological innovation, and even these totally new financial frontiers.
And, if we connect all this to the bigger picture, it really raises an important question, I think, for you, the listener, to consider. As global trade continues its rapid evolution, and as digital innovations increasingly reshape finance, how might these powerful trends we're seeing in industrial real estate fundamentally alter the physical landscapes of our cities? And maybe even the very efficiency and speed of getting the goods we rely on every single day? Something to think about.